Okay, so here's the first video explaining how our backend CRM system works. So you're first going to see this login screen here where it's going to ask you to put in your employee ID. You'll see it's labeled employee ID, and there's the password. Your employee ID is going to be your 3-digit Ring Central extension, and we'll send you all that information over. Well, anyways, once you enter your user ID and your password in here, you click login, and it's going to log you into the control panel. Now, it brings you back to the original page that you were on. For instance, I was on that page before I logged out, therefore it brought me back to that page. The reasoning for this is this CRM system has a security mechanism that logs everybody out after 10 minutes of inactivity. If that's the case and you do get logged out, it will return you to the page that you were last on, so you don't lose track of any work. So over here on the left hand side, you're going to see a couple of different links. There's the SAM search, the customer manager, knowledge base, employee notes, and then a links section. So we'll start at the top here. The SAM search is going to be where we integrate with the sam.gov database. We have a direct integration with them that allows you to search by a number of criteria. For instance, DUNS number is always selected as a default. DUNS number, for instance, is usually the most common way that we search. We're going to go over all the search differences afterwards too. We'll do a video on how to utilize just the SAM API, which will start at the search and go through into the profile registration pages and such. But we'll do a separate video about that. But anyways, I believe this DUNS number is still active, so we can take a look here how this works. So once you put a DUNS number in there or a business name, it's going to bring you back to this results page. You see here it says SAM search results, and up in the URL it says results version 4. Now the reasoning behind this results page is, for instance, if you went back and you searched by, say, the keyword Windows and business name, so any business that had Windows in its name, you'll see that it returns a whole bunch of different entities. So the difference between the results page and the actual registration, view full registration, or view details it's called, is obviously results can return more than one, so that way you have different options. Once you click view details, you're going to be viewing that registration specifically. So here's one individual registration. Now we're going to do a video segment about how to utilize everything inside the SAM API from the results page all the way into this view details page where you see all these different features and all the different information listed. So anyways, for now we're going to go over here to the customer manager. The customer manager is pretty simple. The new customers enter into the customer manager in chronological order, so the newest customers will be on the top line here. It'll show you some basic information such as how much that customer was for, their first name, their last name, the date in which they became a customer, and the status of their renewal. The status of their renewal is not that important, not something you necessarily need to know. Over here you're going to see a link. I'm going to open it in a new tab just to make it a little easier. This link will load up that person's specific SAM registration using the SAM API or the sam.gov integration we have. So you can go back to their registration page here and see all the information for their registration, or we can go and see the information that we've collected from them from our business during the checkout process. So the first part of the checkout process where we collect their email, username, password. It also logs the date, and then it logs, there's a question in that form that asks them whether or not they still have access to the email for their registration. The yes or the no is recorded here. And then on the second page of our checkout, it asks them for their title, first name, last name, and it records the date. It takes their email, phone number, and then it has the status pending and the amount. So this line necessarily isn't that important unless you need to retrieve their email to be able to send them a confirmation or a renewal email. This line is pretty important. This is the first step of the process, so what will happen is once they complete this portion of the process, it'll have their username and password in here, and you're going to want to go and check those usernames and passwords on sam.gov to make sure they're valid, and that's going to be covered in a subsequent video to this one as well. The knowledge base is the only thing we haven't put together. These videos are actually going to go into the knowledge base, so by the time you guys see these, you can click on knowledge base and you'll be able to see a number of videos and materials for training and such stuff. Employee notes. So once again, once we go over how to use the SAM search and what's inside the SAM search and how to work with that information, you're going to see a section where you'll be able to leave notes about these customers. So here's a couple of test notes that we entered in there just to see if the system worked. But when you want to see the notes afterwards, you can either view them by going to that person's individual registration, which would be something like this. We're going to click on their registration. It's going to load up this business. We're going to go to profile notes. This is an example note for the training video. We're going to click submit. And this page is going to reload. Now if we open up profile notes, we'll see that the note has been added here. I'm just going to go back to this profile notes page and refresh it, and you'll see that your note will appear there. So the purpose of this is whenever we're updating a registration or dealing with the customer and any kind of situation comes up, they want to change some information on the registration, or maybe that customer is going to call back or something of that nature, any reasoning where you need to save some information, you want to use that employees notes section, and it'll go here where myself and any other administrators for the business will be able to view it, as well as you if you just need to go back and have that information for yourself. It'll also log your employee ID next to it so you can see which ones are yours. And then down here is the link section. So there's Glip, which is our collaboration software that we use. Clicking this will open up a new window and launch Glip. And then there's also another link that launches the webmail so you can access your email for the business. Pretty simple. This search box up here allows you to search by phone number through the database to see if you can find matching registrations. This is helpful. So when somebody, sometimes people will call in and they will say, I don't know my registration number, and they're calling off a different phone number than the one that we originally messaged them on or sent them a call on. You can ask them what the original phone number was that they received either the text message or automated phone call on, put that into this box and it'll do a search. For instance, see if mine's still in the database. I'll return a registration number, which you could copy and paste and go over to the SAM search area here, paste it in there, and retrieve their registration. So, pretty simple. Up here, you'll see this little phone icon. It is clickable. It's mostly just for us. I'm going to put a few stats in there for you guys too. But what happens is this little red box with the 0 in it updates in real time to show you how many people are actively on our phone lines. I'm probably going to put another icon up here next to it that'll have a little employee symbol or a little person symbol, and to show you how many employees are currently logged into the CRM system. So the reasoning behind this is if you see this number go up to 10 and there's only 3 people answering phones, then it might be good cause to speed things up a bit. And that's also a good check system. So if you know that you're the only person on, if you know how many people are on, which there'll be a count right next to it, and you see that there's more calls, say for instance there's 4 calls and you know that there's 3 people answering phones and you're not on a call and your phone's not ringing, then there's probably something going on, and you'll know to contact an administrator. But this is pretty much just to make sure that the calls don't stack up too deep, so we can try to figure out, do we have the time to spend with this customer right now, or should we hang up the call and try to move on to the next one a little quicker. This is pretty simple. It just shows your name, your position. It has a sign out button, which you'd use at the end of the day. The pay history functionality we're working on now, that will show you exactly how much money you made based off of the hours you worked, and allow you to go back into historical information to see what you were paid on a monthly basis or weekly or whatever basis. This right hand expandable panel is done by clicking the plus sign. It has the main company email address should somebody ask for the email. It has the main company phone number should somebody ask for the phone number. It also includes the Federal Service Desk website and phone number for the people that come at us with questions that we're not equipped to answer, or we don't need to answer because it's not profitable to do so. We'll go over when to use this information too in another video. Over here, there's just some demo content from the actual creators of this control panel software that we use for our company. We're going to remove it out of there and put some more additional useful information, most likely probably like a cheat sheet